Alrighty, so we'll get right into it. Today's class is entitled, I didn't really have a name. So let's call it Do Something Fruitless. Do something fruitless. Now, for those who may look at the title and see confusion in it, title as if he's saying do something, and the part of fruitless is you have no words. All right. All right. So now that our audio is good, everything is going and going. I remember, and it's true, we all got something that we're supposed to be doing. And a lot of us, multiple things that we're supposed to be doing. Men to the forefront, but that doesn't exclude the women. The women are just as accountable of works as the man is. But every now and then we have to come back to this same topic of doing something, being fruitful, making yourself profitable. And it seems like we'll get on track for a week or so, and then next thing you know, it's back to slumbering. Everybody just going with the motions, just chilling, being complacent in captivity, comfortable in captivity. In this case, we don't need you to do something, and don't be fruitless. All right, let's go to Matthew chapter 16, verse 27. Matthew 16 and 27. And it reads, "For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works." So Christ is going to come back and he's going to reward every man according to his works. Every man shall be rewarded according to his works. So now you need to really look at yourself and ask yourself, what type of works am I putting forth? Am I doing the bare minimum? Am I doing nothing at all? What type of reward shall I receive for the works that I'm putting forth? And the reason why examining yourself is heavy, because examining yourself, you got to be completely real with yourself. You just got to keep it 1,000. I'm saying, you judge yourselves of your own works, least correction come forth. And if correction don't get to you, then what happens? When Christ comes through, he comes and render you a judgment. And then there's no redemption from the judgment that Christ is going to give you. So Christ said he's going to reward every man according to his works. So with that being said, what type of works are you bringing forward? Go to Revelations chapter 3. Revelations chapter 3. Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. And it reads, "I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot." So the scripture says, I know thy works, that they are neither cold, meaning you're not all out for this truth. You're not all out in the works. You know what I'm saying? You may show up to the Sabbath, you wear your fringes, you may bring a dish here, there, either whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much it. I'm saying the Most High really, you know, it's okay. The only works you really doing okay is the Sabbath. All right, you're doing the bare minimum. You're not really doing much. You know what I'm saying? But then it says, but you're not hot, meaning you're not laboring. You're not laboring. You're slack with the work. You're pretty much non-existent with the work. Okay, so like I said, you may show up to the Sabbath. You may bring a dish here, there. You may put on your fringes, such and such. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the labors and the works, it's basically slack. It's bare to none. You know what I'm saying? Your daily or your weekly life consists of no works but its truth. And you just basically going through the motions throughout the week. You just Friday, you just basically Sunday through Friday, you live in a regular life. You just what do you like? You're doing nothing. Then you show up to the Sabbath, and okay, we all come, we congregate, and then after that, you go back to regular life, Sunday through Friday again. You basically what? You be honest with yourself. You basically what? Just a Christian with fringes on. You're basically being a Christian with fringes on. What do Sunday Christians do? They go to the Sunday church, then they go back home to whatever the hell it is that they do, and nothing they do during their daily life or through their weekly life professes any type of love that they claim to have for the love that they say the God that they say they worship. Isaiah chapter 29. Isaiah 29:13. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 13. And it reads, wherefore the Lord said, as for Salakia, wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and do, Salakia again. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me. He says, as much as these people draw near me with their mouth, for as much as these people run their mouth, they talk. I mean, it's all lip action, but there's no actual action. So with their mouths, you know what? Yeah, they do honor the Most High. Now you got to look at the same difference here. With our mouths, yeah, we worship the Most High. How do we do that? Watch this, Ephesians 6 and 10. Ephesians 6 and 10, and this class is built for a review or to cut. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10. Let me read it real quick. Ephesians 6 and 10. And it reads, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. Now you ask yourself, why pull this scripture? Scripture say, with their mouth they do, for they draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips they do honor me. And I said, now think about that and put it in this congregation here, or put it into the nation of Israel. Ephesians 6:10. The reason I pulled that because that's one of the chants that we do. Now the reason why we haven't been doing it yet because I don't see nobody being strong in the Lord. That's the reason we ain't been doing the chants, because I ain't seeing nobody being strong in the Lord. I see everybody just chilling, going along with being complacent in captivity, trying to make captivity comfortable. You know what the hell is going on? We got a nation to build here. We got a nation to build, and everybody minds is on whatever the hell it is on going through the week. This fight is more than just Saturday. Back to Isaiah 29. Isaiah 29 verse 13, and it reads, wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me. It says, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their hearts far from me. It says they have removed their hearts far from me. So it says, yeah, they do honor me with their lips, but they have removed their hearts far from me. The Lord gets the least of your time. The Lord is getting the least of you. Your heart is nowhere near him. When he says they remove their hearts from me, it's layers to that. There's many layers to it. Like I said, the Lord get the least of your time. Well, okay, the Lord he get that Saturday. But Sunday through Friday, what the hell are we doing? And no work's getting done. It's layers to it. When it says they move their hearts from me. The scriptures say in Malachi 3:16, they that fear the Lord speak often one to another. I mean, brothers and sisters supposed to be in contact. We're not applying these things. It's works to be done, and they're not getting done weekly. So it like I told you, it's layers to it. We said it hard to part from me. It's things that we can be doing to build and beautify this school. It's things that we could be doing. Everybody is in their own world, Friday through Sunday, or Salakia, Sunday through Friday. Everybody in their own world. We read about the prophets breaking bread daily. Come on, man. When I say it's layers to that, I mean it. Like, do you know if we stop just being concerned with our own household and our own family, and we looked at it as a body, as a family, how much easier this captivity could be? Think about how stressful how less stressful feast days and stuff could be. Instead of everybody running around and trying to get stuff at the last minute, if we was thinking, hey, you know what, when I'm shopping, damn, I know I'm gonna get this pack of water for the house. I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna get this one for the school. I'm gonna get this for my house. I'm gonna get this for. If we thought like that as a nation, as a body, nobody would struggle amongst the congregation. There's layers to it. It says their hearts are far from me. When I go throughout my week, I'm steady thinking about what can I do that'll benefit the school and the people in it. If your mind is not on that, you're not in the spirit of what, especially for the place that we in. It's not a big school. You got to constantly be focused on how can we build, what can we do, what can we do, what can we do. Small things, if little small things don't cross your mind, then we can never get you to see the big things. Let's read it again. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as his people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their hearts far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of man. That fear that's taught to them by the precept of man, that ties into a lot of things, but you tie that back to your slave owners. They the one taught you how to serve Caesar Borgias. And it's a doctrine. As long as you got faith, you got grace, the works are eliminated. Anywho, let's move on. So with the lips, yeah, we worship, we honor. Be strong in the Lord, the power of his might. But our hearts are really away from the Most High, because the Most High said that there's nothing better than brothers that dwell in unity. Psalms 133:1. We dwell in unity. We're supposed to be working together, pulling this thing together as a team. And then that's not getting done. They that fear the Lord speak often one to another. Everybody brought everything that they had and laid it at their feet, and they spread it out amongst the body where no one would lack. All those types of things, if those things are not getting done, this is just in vain. This worship is in vain. Your hearts are far from the Most High, because it's not following after the order and the commandments that was set. 1 Samuel 2:3. 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 3. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3. And it reads, talk no more exceedingly proud. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. That's simply put. We'll say, talk no more exceedingly proud. Let not arrogancy come out your mouth. How much you down for this truth? How much you'll do for this truth? You love God. Let all that foolishness cease. God is a God of knowledge. By him actions are weighed. You know what it's saying? Because the Most High is basically saying that he know that our people are full of shit. You can talk a cat off a fish truck, but what's your actions? What are you doing for this truth? What are you doing to bring honor to the positions that you be sat in? What are you doing to make yourself profitable to the body, to the congregation, to the Lord's word? What are you doing? Are you just chilling Sunday through Friday? You going with the motions? Working, sleeping, chilling. What are we doing? If this captivity is that comfortable to you, you're not in this truth. You playing with it. You playing with it. Might as well go get you a Coke, a Big Mac, and a large fry, and turn on Saturday football games. Most I say actions are weighed. So guess what? When it says the Lord is a man of knowledge, now somebody with knowledge to me, they know better. I got all understanding. So that's why he comes back and say, by him actions are weighed. Because most I already know. Like, man, listen, I am a man of knowledge. I know that if you listen to the words that come out of these people's mouth, they will make you feel that they are completely down for the cause. What are their actions? What are you doing? By your actions, it'll show me who you are. Matthew 7 and 20. Matthew chapter 7, verse 20. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 20. And it reads, wherefore by their fruit, Salakia. Matthew chapter 7, verse 20. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Scriptures is plain. It says, by their fruits ye shall know them. By their fruits ye shall know them. You are a seed. You get planted. Fertilize, you pick the weeds from around you to protect you. Make sure you grow. And then when you blossom up, the fruits is the product of what was being grown, what's been planted. So when it says that by their fruits we shall know them, it's saying exactly that. We by your works, we know who you are by the works that you produce. We know how serious you are by your works, by your diligence, by your zeal, by your works and your faith. And I said by your works, by your zeal, by your diligence, it can always tell us it can tell us your faith, it can tell us your belief. All of that stuff is revealed by your works, by your fruits. So then, with that being said, are ye fruitless? Are you doing nothing to contribute? Are you just doing the bare minimum? Now think about it. If you got a tree, you got a household of 7, and you do all this work year round, and this tree only brings you 2 fruits. Is it really profitable to you? Most I put 7 days on the calendar, give you 7 days to work with. If you only giving me 1 day of work, are you really profitable to the Most High? Are you making yourself profitable? You're doing the bare minimum. So now it says, I'm going to reward you according to your works. I'm going to reward you according to your works. You know, here. It's 355 days in a year. 65, something like, okay, 365. You're right. We got 365 in a year. They tell us that's what, 52 weeks. And out of 52 weeks, you do 1 day. I don't like my odds. I don't like the odds. The fruits of that tree is showing that that tree ain't is good for nothing. It's true. They cut that tree down and throw it away. Every tree that brings forth not good fruit is hewed down and cast into the fire. All right, so this is where it starts to get heavy now. Now we got to tie this stuff in. Let's tie it all in now. Let's go to Numbers. Numbers chapter 32. This is where it gets heavy. Now, if you're already clinging for your coats and getting squeaked and teach you, you're really going to get touchy now. Let's see if the sword of the Most High start cutting. And if it do, let's see what the Spirit do. Numbers chapter 32. Now, this is when we were going to take over a land. What land is this that we were getting ready to take over in Numbers 32? This is the land of Israel. It's when we were headed to take the land. All right. Who was dwelling in that land first? Canaan. Africans. Canaanites. All right, so let's get into it. We got to tie this stuff into today. Numbers chapter 32, verse 1. Now the children of Reuben. Now we should all know who the children of Reuben are. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad. Slakia. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great multitude of cattle. And when they saw the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead, that behold, the place was a place for cattle. The children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spake unto Moses and Eleazar, the priest, and unto the prince of the congregation, saying, Atharah and Deban and Jezar and Nimrah and and Heshbon and Eliah and Eliah, whatever that is, and Shabam and Nebo and Boan, even the country which the Lord smote before the congregation of Israel is a land for cattle, and thy servants have cattle. Wherefore, said they, if we have found grace in thy sight, let this land be given unto thy servant for possession, and bring us not over Jordan. So this right here is when we were going to take the land of Israel, what became Israel, but we had not yet crossed over Jordan. This is before the crossing of Jordan. All right. So what happens is, with that being said, I'm gonna tie it into today, and then I'm gonna keep going. Now we were going to take over what land? The land that eventually became Israel. Now today, what land are we trying to take down? We're trying to take down America. And it says what so what's Salakia? We were going to take a land in. Now we're trying to take down America. We are trying to build up what nation? We're trying to build up the nation of Israel. All right. So now, with that being said, watch this verse. It says, Slack. Let me just keep it expounding a little bit. We were going to take a land that was going to become Israel. Just like today, we're trying to take down America. What nation was that land going to be named after? The nation of Israel. What nation are we trying to build today? Israel. So it says, now when you think about that, but to do it, the children of Israel had to do what? They had to go to war. What are we today? We have to go to war. They are attacking us. The other nations are attacking us. America is attacking us. How are they doing it? It's not like they grabbing swords and they coming out and they stabbing you and beat you down. No, they're attacking you with what? The TV, through the news, music, Christianity, Jehovah's Witnesses. You know what I'm saying? You got to really think about that. You don't see Israel on TV, but you do see Joel Osteen, New Destiny Church, Juanita Bynum, T.D. Jakes. You see all of them. And they're all doing what? Fighting against us. So now we got to go to war with them. But like I said, we're not going with swords in hand. That's why the scriptures tell you we're not wrestling against flesh and blood. But here's the point. Verse 6. And Moses said unto the children of Gad and the children of Reuben, shall your brethren go to war and ye sit here? So it's saying, shall your brothers go to war and you sit here not doing nothing? That's the point. We got basically a whole congregation just sitting back doing nothing, just chilling. And there's work to be done. We got a wicked land that we in that's devouring our people by the whole. And we got to go out there and cast the truth out and take this nation down. And we can't even get little stuff in the building done, let alone go out and fight against the wicked nation. So I said, your brother go to war and you sit back and watch. Tie it into today. We got work to do. I got to the point where I tried to lead by example without really too much saying much. To the point where I was dropping them their class. To the point I was dropping the class almost every other night. And I wait for brothers to pick up swords and go to fighting, and brothers went to chilling even harder, to the point where it almost burnt me out. When y'all look, we had 3 fruits come in. We had 3 fruits come in. Out of the 3, the Most High went ahead and shook the tree. 2 of them fell out. 1 stayed. And the one that stayed, the sister is steady laboring. And I'm sitting back and I'm watching like, okay, brothers, we got to step it up. Brothers got to step it up, man. It's too much work to be done. And this ain't the time to get complacent or chilling in the captivity. It's not the hell with getting comfortable. We gotta go. The scriptures say sacrifice yourselves. The scriptures say that ye that be married be as if you were not, meaning you dedicate more time to this truth than your, I hate to say it like that, but it is what it is. You dedicate more time to this truth than your own marriage. You married to the Christ first and foremost, then your wives. We have to labor. We have to labor. I'm telling you now, our jobs cannot be more important than this truth. And when we start to go through things, I'm saying is if somebody don't pull you out the slum hole, you bound to fall. Because I'd have been to the point where, okay, I went to slumbering at times. And then I have to catch myself and pick it back up. We out here, it's time to go to war, and it's time to go. We out, brother out here warring, and I need y'all to pick up the swords and fight. Like I said, our life has to consist of more than just outside activities, meaning working, chilling, hanging, whatever the case may be. I can't really put pinpoints on what. All of us got a different, you know what I'm saying, routine, but our lives have to be more involved with the works of the Most High. And the scriptures say the man is the head of the house. This is our house. This is it. This is what we worship. This is our house. We all got to be concerned about keeping the temple up. We all got to be concerned with what's next. What we gonna do next to go reach these dead souls out there? And I'm tired of captivity. So if you're doing anything less than the most you can do for the truth, and that's where it goes back to me saying you got to be honest with yourself. Are you doing seriously? You look at you and say, "I'm not really doing all I could be doing for the truth." You know, you got to be honest with yourself. Like, now, if I'm not, then goddamn, I'm slacking. Am I really doing all I could be doing for the truth? All right. So, if not, I'm telling you, you're teaching an evil lesson. You're teaching an evil lesson. If you're not laboring, that's an evil lesson. Lesson. If you're not going all over and above for this truth, you're teaching an evil lesson. And you could be discouraging spirits at the same time. How? Because you see other brothers going to war, and then you chilling, and other sisters going to war, and you chilling. That can discourage spirits. Or one, it can damn, what's the word I was looking for? I'm gonna just keep it at teaching an evil lesson. You can teach somebody else that it's okay to just chill and be complacent in this truth versus laboring. Verse 7. And that's what 7 is talking about. And it says, wherefore he discouraged the hearts of the children of Israel from going over into the land which the Lord hath given them. Now, when you read the history of this is what Joshua, he sent 12 spies out to go spy out on the land that we're going to go take. And only 2 brothers, Moses sent 12 spies over to go spy on the land. And only 2 brothers came back with good news. The other brothers got scared. They're like, we can't take that land because the brothers were taller than them. The Hamites were taller and bigger. They're like, no, we can't take it. All of them said we couldn't do it. 2 brothers said, no, we can take them. We can take them. I think it was Caleb and Joshua. Caleb and Joshua was the ones who was like, we can take them. But what did the other 10 do? They discouraged the other brothers by saying, oh, we can't take them. There's too many of them. They're going to give us the beat down. They big. Now, tie that into today. You got to bring it back to other brothers going to war. You chilling. You discourage those spirits that are ready to war. You discourage the spirits who are already warring. Or you can teach others that it's okay to go have speed in this truth. I don't want to say have speed because remember, you may think that means rushing to doing something and then you mess up. When I say, let's say you can teach others to not go hard, not go out and all and above. Now remember, because I'm gonna put it like this. I remember. Now it's a sister all the time, like, what you need me to do, what I can do for this, what y'all need me to do. I was like, okay. I remember that same sister told a specific brother, if you take this thing, it depends on how serious you take this thing. You take this thing serious, I'm gonna take it serious. You going hard, I'm gonna go hard. I remember that. So now, in your position, what you gotta do? You gotta be that example. You gotta go hard all the time. Because if you settle, then guess what? Now we start noticing this sister kind of easing back. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, you got to remember, y'all sisters, remember that you're going to be rewarded according to your individual works. Everybody got a fruit basket that they better bring fruits back in. And the Most High done put, for lack of better words or another analogy, the Most High put seeds in your hand and sent you here. You better plant those seeds and come back with the fruits of them. So now, as a fact, let's get that history. Let's get a little history. Let me show you that women get proved through works as well. Something similar to that allegory. Let's go to Acts chapter 9. Acts chapter 9 and verse. We'll start at 36. Acts chapter 9, verse 36. And it reads, Now there was at Joppa a certain disciple named Tabitha, which by interpretation called Dorcas. This woman was full of good works and alms deeds, which she did. So we're reading about a sister here that was full of good works and alms deeds. This is showing you that, guess what? Women, you be held accountable for your own fruit basket. You better have some fruits in that basket when you get to the gate. Watch this. It says, and it came to pass in those days that she was sick and died, whom when they had washed, they laid her in the upper chamber. And as far as much as Lydda was nigh to Joppa, and the disciples had heard that Peter was there, they sent unto him 2 men, desiring him that he would not delay to come to them, that he would not delay to come to them. Verse 39, then Peter arose and went with them. When he was come, they brought him into the upper chamber. And all the widows stood by weeping and showing the coats and the garments which Dorcas made while she was with them. But Peter put them all forth and kneeled down and prayed, and turning him to the body, said, Tabitha, arise. And she opened her eyes. And when she saw Peter, she sat up. And he gave her his hand and lifted her up. And when he had called the saints and the widows, presented her alive. So, as you can see, Dorcas had a good name in Israel. So much that when she died, she was weak, and she was one of the people Peter had to go ahead and bring back to life. Now take that to the spiritual realm. This woman had plenty of fruits in her basket. Her works spoke for themselves. And you know what? The Most High allowed her into eternal life. For lack of better words, y'all women, make sure you got your works. Make sure you're doing your works. Make sure you also abiding into the fact that we got a job to do. We got works that we must present before the Most High calls their number. Damn. So let's think about it. When you read Numbers 32 and 7, when you think about it, it says that you may discourage certain spirits. You know how frustrating that is when you see a mission and there's things that need to be done, and it seems like you can't get the job done. Everybody just chilling. It's just nonchalant. It's a mission. We got a mission to do. Everybody should be able to see the mission. It ain't like it ain't like the job is halfway done. I can see it. We see the finish line, but yeah, the job just be like we got 1,000,001 souls out there that ain't even heard about the nation of Israel. And we got to get to them. Remember, when you read in Revelations, he was writing to churches. He was writing to the 7 churches. And all them 7 churches, he had a category for them. He said, this church I got no problem with. Y'all perfect. Keep doing what you're doing. This church, you got this wrong with you. This church, you got this wrong with you. This church, you got this wrong with you. This church, out of 7 churches, 5 had things that were jacked up. And they were warned that they were in danger of being put to death. So now you look at the nation of Israel today, when you go through it and you read it and you look and you're like, damn, which church are we? Which group of churches do we fall in? That should be an eye opener. You should be like, oh snap, we're gonna die. Like I said, don't discourage the spirits that's amongst us, because you know what's happening. It gets frustrating when there's a lot of work to be done and nobody has any urgency to do it. You know what I'm saying? Something simple, something small. We go back to look at our camera situation. Them small tasks that we could have knocked out. That's been a 2-3 month old conversation. Let's go to we got to get to the streets. Well, what we waiting on? It would have been nice to have a camera, but hell, when you got it, the work still got to get done. Throughout the week, we got classes we could be dropping. The work's got to get done. When we show up and we looking, okay, damn, what can we do to beautify the body? What can we do? Hell, all you gotta do is look, man. Everybody got the unisons. Where's it? Can we at least get school shirts done? Can we do the bare minimum? Can we get the bare minimum done? Now, when I say bare minimum, I ain't even at this point in time. I ain't talking about works, because your works can't be bare minimum. Your works got to go over and above. But bare minimum now, I'm talking about, okay, just little stuff. Let's go ahead. Let's move on. So now, what y'all need to remember is, listen, it ain't the time to be going with emotions. It ain't time. It's time to buckle down and get it in. It's time to devote way more time to these works, a little less time to the things of the world. So listen, because what you got to remember is there is no salvation for the slothful. There is no salvation for the slothful. There's an order, something that need to get done, or I need brothers to get it done. We shouldn't be 2-3 weeks waiting on the same task to get done. Get it done so we can move on, get the next thing done. That hinders the body. Proverbs 19:15. Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 15. All right. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 15, and it reads, "Slothfulness casteth into deep sleep." Slothfulness casted into deep sleep. That deep sleep is talking. Go to Proverbs 21 real quick. Proverbs 21:16. "The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead." The man that wandereth out the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. All right. That's the deep sleep that it's talking about. The congregation of the dead. It's basically equaling up to the slothfulness. When it says you're going to fall into that deep sleep, it's telling you you're going to fall out the truth. Being slothful will cast you into a deep sleep, which will cast your ass out of the truth. Before you know it, you're back in the world. So I'm going to read it again. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep. An idle soul shall suffer hunger. An idle soul shall suffer hunger. So it says that you shall cast to a deep sleep, somehow fall into the congregation of the dead. Being sleep in this truth equals falling out in this truth. You're saying these classes, they supposed to perk you and make you really look down and say, damn, am I really doing all I can be doing? Because if not, I'm slumbering in this truth. I'm being slothful. If it's stuff that's supposed to be done and you ain't doing it, you being slothful. Do a brother, I shouldn't have to call you brothers or whatever the case may be to tell y'all every single thing that need to get done. Y'all are supposed to be mighty men in this truth too. Take the initiative to say, you know what, I'm gonna just do this because you know what, the school might need it. Or you know what, let me see what I can do. How can I help this week? Do you know what I'm saying? What can we do? Well, you know, hell, let's do a class. Well, you know what, I'm gonna sacrifice myself. You know what, I'm gonna get down there and read a class during the week. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm sacrificing, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take the initiative to throw a class together so we can have more than one class a week. But if you know, don't get to the point where I'm saying you sitting back and I feel like a brother just laboring and he warring by himself. Because you get to the point, okay, now you do a Tuesday night class, then Friday night lights, then you got to host a Sabbath, and then basically drag the brothers along for whatever else needs to be done. I need brothers picking up their swords and fighting. And a lot of y'all brothers, I'm doing this to save you because I know what's gonna happen. I see some brothers teetering on the edge. They going into deep sleep. They getting more and more slothful. And you start looking, you're like, damn, okay, the spirit, Most High starting to seek the knowledge back from you. And before you know it, you just back in the world. So you got to basically find out, and you got to keep it real with yourself. Am I doing all I can be doing? Am I giving even 75% of me to this truth? Ecclesiastes. Or are you basically just being a zombie in the truth? Ecclesiastes 10 and 18. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 18. And it reads, by much slothfulness, the building decayeth. It says, by much slothfulness, the building decayeth. That's saying that's you. That's your knowledge. Your knowledge is decaying. By so much slothfulness, now the things that you've been learned in this truth seeping right out of your head. The building decay. That's talking about like before the body. Okay, let's just take it into a building since that's what Solomon is talking about. When it says that the building decayeth, it's like a house. The things around it decay first, and then the house crumbles down. So it says, when it says that the building decayeth, now take that into you as an individual. The knowledge that you learn, all that starts to leave you. Then your works start to leave you. Then your name starts to be diminished and tarnished in the name of Israel. The next thing you know, let's read that. Verse 18 again. By much slothfulness, the building decayeth, and through idle hands, the house droppeth through. The house droppeth through is to my use drop right out of this truth. It started off with your knowledge decaying. It started off with your name, your works. Next thing you know, the whole house comes down. Next thing, why? Because brothers start casting you out. You start catching them bad reports. And the next thing you know, nobody, and the next thing you back in the world. You back in the world for you. It's that easy to fall right back into the truth. I mean, so like I said, fall back into the truth. It's that easy to fall back into the world. It's that easy for your house to drop right out of the truth. Watch this. Proverbs 24. Proverbs 24, verse 30. Now, when you read the books that Solomon wrote, you have to understand that Solomon used a lot of wise sayings. That's when you read the book of Proverbs. What is a proverb? No wise sayings. So when you read in Proverbs, you're reading a lot of wise sayings from Solomon. Now, when you be able to understand them, that comes with time. And some things you get right away, some things it take time. That's just Proverbs chapter 24, verse 30. I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. So I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. Now, who understands what the hell they're saying? No takers? Stand up.
Pretty much saying he see that there's people not doing any works.
I need you to bring it in. I need you to bring it in for me.
Like, he see that there's people being lazy, studying.
Now, you hitting or rounded, but I'm trying to get to that. I want to get to that point. He says they're void of, he passed by the field of the slothful and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. Why would he say they're void of understanding?
Because of men with good understanding. Right?
He's saying that.
Right, hold on, no blurting, no blurting. You gotta stand and give your answer. So your answer is damn there.
He's saying just because he passed by a lot of men who don't have their hands into work. So when they ain't got their hands into work, they're void of understanding, because when you're not doing the work, you lose the knowledge.
Another one hitting right on the house. All right. Anybody else want to stab at it before I answer it? It's right. You know, they pretty much put it on the plate for you. All right. so it says he passed by the house of the slothful and the vineyard of the man void of understanding. He said the reason why he's saying that they were void, like that, like I said, most of their answer was pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? So it says they're slothful. What is a slothful person? Lazy, procrastinating. You ever tell somebody to do something and you're like, damn, it took you that long to get that done? Like slothful, it can be something simple as no works, take forever to get the job done, or just when they just not zealous. They ain't got no to it, no kick. So it's like he passed by the slothful in the vineyard of the man void of understanding. The reason why he's saying that they are void of understanding, because they fail to understand that your works correlate with what you get in the kingdom. I mean, remember, I think I made the statement earlier. I said there's no salvation for the slothful. So when he said I passed by the slothful and the man void of understanding, I mean, when it comes down to it, you don't get the kingdom with slothful words. You don't get the kingdom with little. Your works need to the works got to beat out everything, because you got to understand, you got 20-something plus years of sin. Well, our whole life has been basically in sin, except the time that we came into the knowledge. And when you come into the knowledge, you still stumbling with sin as you going until you get to a certain point. So your works better be outstanding, because you're gonna need to blot out a lot of sin to make it in. So we say he passed by the vineyard of them void of understanding because they were slothful. Yeah, you slothful, you must be void of understanding. Solomon was saying. Because once again, you're not getting to the kingdom without, you're not getting to the kingdom with slothful words or bare minimum words or no words. And we know, obviously, you could correlate words to fruits. Second Ezra, that's why Second Ezra should be talking about. Go to Second Ezra chapter 9, which those of you who are pretty familiar with, y'all know I kind of love going here for certain points. Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 3. I'm gonna start at 3. Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 3. Second Ezra chapter 9 and verse 3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spoke of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, and wonders, and powerful works, and endings, and effects, and signs. And everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works. Shall be able to escape by his works. And by faith where ye have believed. So when these terrible destructions come, those who are going to be saved, they're only going to be able to escape by their works. What are you doing? Better step. I'm telling you, that's why Scripture said we work diligently to make our election sure. 2/3 of the people are going to die. That's more than half of the nation is going to die. That means there's a tight hole to slide through. It's many brothers that's going to be sliding into Israel. Lord forbid you be the one beat out because your works was bare to none. It says, they who be able to escape shall be able to, them who should be saved shall be able to escape by their works and by their faith. So that's telling you what? Your works also show your faith and your belief. A lot of you don't believe don't believe if you've been slothful. If your works are not, you're not over and above for the truth, you don't really believe, and you don't really have the faith, because guess what? The Bible's telling you, your fruits ain't stacked up, you're not getting in. You don't believe that. So hence you don't believe the Bible. And we work diligently because we got faith that after all this work, after all the sacrificing that we got to do, that Most High is going to give us rest. This is not our land of rest. I have faith in that. That's why no matter what, I keep the work going. Not to say it don't get frustrating. So now, diligently look and see, damn, if he cracked the sky open, did I really give everything I could give? Did I really go all out and above? Because if not, remember, the Most High read our spirits. You know what I'm saying? When them questions come out and I'm asking you, and you really, really just be honest with yourself, and you know, if I'm not doing all I can be doing for this truth, let me step it up. Let me step it up before it's too late. But the Most High remove me out my place, or whatever the case may be. It's just Sirach. Sirach 22:1. Sirach 22:1. Sirach 22:1, and it reads, a slothful man is compared to a filthy stone, and everyone will hiss him out to his disgrace. So the scriptures say a slothful man is compared to a filthy stone, and everyone will hiss him out to his disgrace. You know, they hiss him out every time he get ready to come in. And so they tell you, hey, you need to work with this brother. Man, goddamn, man, I gotta work with him, man. Lazy ass man. Y'all, some of y'all got people at the job like that. They tell you got to work with this dude. you go to boiling on the inside. You pissed off because you know this brother lazy as hell. He take forever to get the job done with it. All right, that's what the scripture say. A slothful man is like a filthy stone. Everyone will hiss him out to his disgrace. Verse 2. Verse 2. A slothful man is compared to a filthy, a slothful man is compared to the filth of a dunghill. A dunghill is a pile of shit. For straightforward words. A dunghill is a pile of that stuff. It says, every man that taketh it up will shake his hand. Every man that taketh up will shake his hand. What it means, shake his hand, I mean, like if you get crap on your hand, you know what I'm saying? You say every man that take him up, man. In the morning, some brother's supposed to build with you, get you in. You like, man, it's like he done got crap on his hand. You don't want to be that brother, I'm telling you, because your reputation will be stained. You know what I'm saying? When people look at this camera, they're looking at these classes, they sit back and they watching like, damn. And you don't want to be the brother when you say you were One Nation, everybody looking at you like, well, damn, y'all only got one brother that labor. Who is you? You don't want, I'm telling you, you got people that come to the school and they sitting back and they watching, they're like, okay, you want them to, when they go back to the schools that they from, you want them to be able to say good things. So when these camps finally come together, everybody like, oh man, I heard about this brother. That brother does, yeah. You want that. Remember, your name go far in Israel. Your name is better than precious ointment. Your legacy, your reputation. Lord forbid you be the brother that think you don't care what people think about you. Hell, you better in the nation of Israel. That's why I have you some damn kids. You talking about you want them to get married. Needs to be no, I don't know, mine. And when it come down to it, everywhere you go, everybody's talking about you the lazy brother. You the brother that don't nobody want to work with. I've seen it. I've seen it at a brother funeral. I mean, he was a good brother, whatever. He was cool, you know what I'm saying? But he was lazy as shit. You know what I'm saying? He was a good brother, but he was lazy. You know what I'm saying? And his kids got to sit there and eat that. And this kid like, yeah, my dad was, he didn't do shit. All he did was sitting. Hey, I've seen it. I'll just put it like that. At Israelite funerals, where they sitting there, they're like, yeah, he was a good brother. He was cool to hang with, but he wasn't shit. He didn't do shit. And after that, they drinking wine at your funeral. I'm telling you. Watch this. Go to so I said you gotta think about it. That's why we some brothers are like when they say you like a slothful brothers like a dunghill palace. It's really good for nothing. Like what you know what I'm saying? You ever have a tape, you give a brother tape like, damn man, I should just ask such and such to do. At least the job would have got done. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you gotta think about why that's why we can't get nothing done. That's why we ain't getting nothing done. When you sit back and you ask, you're like, damn. You look at it, you're like, damn, why y'all think we're in such a standstill? The body ain't growing like how it's supposed to be. I really sit back and look at that. I'm like, damn, maybe we chilling too much. We being too slack. We're not doing enough. You can't sit back and think that, okay, we got a little right now, so we can go half speed, and then all of a sudden people gonna start coming in, then you're gonna flip a switch. No, it don't work like that. Let's prove it real quick. Luke 16 and 10. We're almost out of here. Luke 16 and 10. Luke chapter 16 and verse 10. And it reads, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. And he that is just in the least is just also in much. Scripture's telling you straight. I'm gonna put it like this. You got to take care of a little bit before the Most High give you the increase. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing with a little bit, what in the hell make you think I'm gonna trust you with a lot? It's like somebody asking you, can they babysit your kids, and you notice they damn kids out of the way. And you can't take care of your own kids. You know you're gonna watch mine? Same thing with the congregation. If you can't do right with a little bit, there's no way the Most High can trust you with a lot. Let's jump over to Luke 19. I'm going to show y'all something real quick, and then we're just going to go ahead and get out of here. Luke chapter 19. And let's start around verse Luke 19 and 11. Luke chapter 19, verse 11. And it reads, and as they heard these things, he added, parable, because he was nigh to Jerusalem, and because they thought that the kingdom of God should immediately appear. Verse 12. He said, therefore, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for him a kingdom to return. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come. All right. So now let's just jump to the point. Let's go jump over to verse 15. So this is Christ. He's giving a parable as if he left 10 pounds with somebody, with 10 servants. And their job is to watch and occupy until he returns. Right. But, make the smart trade, make sure, grow those 10 pounds. I didn't just give you 10 pounds to keep 10 pounds. Grow those 10 pounds. All right. So now, verse 15. And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. So now let's put it like this. You are the servants. Christ has left y'all with money or items to trade. You can put the trades as your talents. He gave you talents that he wanted you to use for the nation and also trade off to gain more talents. So when he came back, he wanted to know how much did you gain from what he gave you. Verse 16. Then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds. And he said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have authority over 10 cities. So now, I ain't going to finish reading the whole thing. I want y'all to catch that. Basically what we read here is Christ gave every last one of us something to work with. This congregation, Most High set y'all in it, y'all the first fruits. He stamped y'all in it. Now grow this congregation. When I come back, if you still sitting on the same thing I gave y'all, I'm putting all of you to death. But guess what? Because you got little, you better be faithful with that little and do what's required of you. Because you know what? Right now, you may only run your household. But in the kingdom, the Most High is looking for men that can run cities. You may sweep floors at Super Target. In the kingdom, the Most High say, no, you're going to be the dude that own the Super Targets. You may be a fry cook at Disney. In the kingdom, the Most High say, you're going to own Disney. You know what I'm saying? You may only stitch up coats for the body right now, or for the nation of Israel. In the kingdom, the Most High may say, you're going to own the Joanne fabrics. There ain't going to be no more Joanne fabrics. It's going to be such and such Israel fabrics. You may be a sister that got that's a damn good rotel chicken, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, Most High say, you know what? You're going to own the most biggest and the most successful restaurants, and your thing gonna reach straight across the world. You're gonna be planted in whole other countries. But you gotta be faithful with the little bit that you got now. And you gotta bring honor to that thing. And then guess what? In the kingdom, I increase you the more. You know what I'm saying? You may be a janitor at CNS warehouse. Next thing you know, you own the CNS warehouses. You may work at the Cheesecake Factory, and next thing you know, you own the Cheesecake Factories. Be faithful with your little, and increase you with a lot. You know what I'm saying? You live in Orange City, you might own Orange City. You may be the one that he set you to govern that whole city. But you got to be able to prove that you can run the little bit that you have. That's what forth with all of us. All of us, we have little to work with, but the Most High got to see you can handle that little before he gives you the increase. Because you know what happens? You get the increase, and then you go to slacking. The Most High say, you know what? Take that increase back. Now, if that take him up under what he was making before he got the increase. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it, man. I've had that thing happen to me. I've had it happen to me, man. I was flying up the ranks. So you know what happened? I started getting comfortable. Most High started chopping it back down. All right, so that's the point. Go back to Revelations 3:15. Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. I never finished it. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 15. And it reads, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold, meaning so you're not in the world. No, you're aware of who you are. You keeping the commandments for the most part, but you're not hot. He said, I know you're not neither cold, neither are you hot. Meaning you ain't doing everything that you're supposed to be doing for me. You know you can do more. You know when it came to this situation, you could have gave a little more. You like the Most High, like he watching, he evaluating you, and he's saying like, damn, you ain't cold, but you ain't hot. It says, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. Meaning he said, I would prefer you to be either cold or hot. You know what I'm saying? So then, because thou art lukewarm, meaning you in the middle, neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. When it says I will spew thee out of my mouth, that goes back to the reward according to every man's work. And he said, I'm going to spew thee out of my mouth means I'm going to kill you. Because you're not going all the way out and above for this truth, and because you ain't decided you want to just go ahead and be all the way in the world, I'm going to spit you out. I'm going to kill you anyways. That's the rewards of being lukewarm. So with that being said, 2 Corinthians 13 and 5, examine yourselves. All right. So now that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. We got to figure out, are you doing, you got to be real self. Are you doing as much as you could be doing for this truth? And if not,